What if the biggest reason you're not where you want to be financially isn't your job, your background, or even your luck, but the way you think about income itself? Imagine waking up every day knowing that you are in control, that your money works for you and not the other way around. Right now, most people are trapped in a cycle: earn, spend, repeat. They trade time for money, and when time runs out, so does income. But what if you could break that cycle? What if you could design a life where your income grows, your stress shrinks, and your future becomes something you're excited about, not afraid of? This isn't just about getting rich. It's about gaining control. It's about understanding the rules of the game that most people never learn and then using them to your advantage. Because once you master your income, you start to master your life. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear could completely shift how you see money, wealth, and your own potential forever. Lesson 1. Income is a skill, not a fixed outcome. The pervasive myth that locks most individuals into a cycle of financial stagnation is the belief that income is a static byproduct of one's job title or the generosity of an employer. In reality, your paycheck is not a reflection of your worth as a human being, but rather a direct measurement of the marketplace's valuation of your current skill set. If you view your earnings as a fixed outcome dictated by external circumstances, you essentially surrender your agency to the whims of the economy. However, once you reframe income as a high-level skill, much like learning a language or mastering an instrument, you unlock the ability to intentionally manipulate your earning potential through deliberate practice and strategic education. Consider the fundamental laws of supply and demand as they apply to human capital. A person who performs tasks that many others can do will always find their income capped by the sheer volume of competition. Conversely, the individual who cultivates rare and valuable skills, the linchpins of their industry, enjoys a level of pricing power that standard employees can only dream of. This transition requires a shift from being a passive recipient of a salary to an active investor in your own intellectual property. You must identify the high-income skills such as copywriting, data analysis, strategic negotiation, or complex problem-solving that offer the highest return on investment for your time. The process of upgrading your value is not a one-time event, but a continuous cycle of iteration. In a rapidly evolving technological landscape, skills have a half-life. What was lucrative a decade ago may be automated or obsolete today. Therefore, the most critical sub-skill of income generation is the ability to learn how to learn. By dedicating a portion of every day to expanding your knowledge base, you ensure that you stay ahead of the curve. This isn't about collecting degrees for the sake of credentials. It's about acquiring practical, results-oriented capabilities that solve specific, expensive problems for others. When you become the person who can solve a $100,000 problem, you will never again have to settle for a $50,000 salary. Ultimately, the relationship between value and income is a mathematical certainty, even if there is a slight lag in the market's response. When you focus inward on self-improvement, you are building an invisible asset that no economic downturn can take away from you. This realization is incredibly empowering because it moves the locus of control from the boss or the government to your own hands. You are the CEO of your own career, and your primary product is your expertise. If you are unsatisfied with your current revenue, the solution isn't to complain or wait for a cost of living adjustment. The solution is to head back to the workshop and sharpen your tools until your value becomes impossible to ignore. Lesson 2. Control comes from ownership. The fundamental flaw in the trading time for money model is that time is a finite, non-renewable resource. No matter how high your hourly rate becomes, you are still bound by the 24 hours in a day, creating an inherent ceiling on your wealth and, more importantly, your freedom. True financial sovereignty is found only through ownership. When you own an asset, be it a corporation, a piece of real estate, or a patent, you are decoupling your income from your physical presence. Ownership allows you to participate in the upside of productivity without being the sole engine of that productivity. This is the difference between being a passenger on a ship and owning the fleet. Leverage is the force multiplier that ownership provides. In the traditional labor model, your input equals your output in a linear $1 ratio. However, the owner utilizes various forms of leverage: labor, employees, capital, other people's money, and code or media, digital products to achieve exponential results. This allows a single decision or a well-placed investment to generate returns that far exceed the effort required to initiate them. Without ownership, you are merely a tool being used by someone else to build their empire. With it, you are the architect of your own. The psychological peace that comes from knowing your lifestyle is supported by assets rather than just your pulse is the highest form of wealth. Furthermore, ownership provides a level of structural security that employment never can. An employee can be terminated at any moment due to factors entirely outside their control, such as a corporate merger or a shift in market sentiment. An owner, however, holds the equity and the decision-making power. Even in times of crisis, the owner has the flexibility to pivot, liquidate, or reinvest. Ownership also offers significant tax advantages and the ability to build generational wealth, as assets can be passed down or sold, whereas a job ends the moment you stop working. Building equity is essentially building a fortress around your family's future. Transitioning into an ownership mindset requires a tolerance for risk that most people find uncomfortable. It is far easier to accept a steady paycheck than to navigate the uncertainty of building a business or managing a portfolio. Yet the greatest risk is actually the illusion of safety provided by a single job. To gain control, you must begin to divert your surplus income into acquiring income-producing assets. Whether it is starting a small side venture, buying shares in a company, or creating content that generates royalties, the goal is to slowly tip the scales until your passive ownership income eclipses your active labor income. Only then are you truly free to choose how you spend your time. Lesson 3. Spend strategically, not emotionally. Many high earners remain functionally poor because they fail to distinguish between their standard of living and their quality of life. Emotional spending is the silent predator of wealth, driven by the desire for status, instant gratification, or a temporary dopamine hit to escape the stress of a job they dislike. When you spend emotionally, you are essentially trading your future freedom for a fleeting moment of social signaling. Strategic spending, on the other hand, views every dollar as a financial soldier sent out to capture more dollars. It requires a disciplined, long-term perspective that prioritizes the health of your balance sheet over the appearance of your lifestyle. The key to strategic spending lies in understanding the opportunity cost of every purchase. Before any significant expenditure, you must calculate not just the price on the tag, but what that money could have become if invested over 20 years. A $50,000 luxury car isn't just $50,000, it represents the potential loss of hundreds of thousands of dollars in future compounding. This doesn't mean living a life of miserable frugality, but rather practicing conscious spending. It involves ruthlessly cutting costs on things that don't bring long-term value, while investing heavily in things that do, such as education, health, and assets that appreciate. Your spending should be a reflection of your values, not your impulses. One of the most effective ways to combat emotional spending is to implement a buffer between the impulse and the action. By forcing yourself to wait 48 hours before any non-essential purchase, you allow the emotional fervor to subside and your logical mind to take over. During this time, you can ask the vital question: is this moving me forward or holding me back? If the purchase is a liability that will depreciate and require maintenance, it is likely holding you back. If it is a tool that increases your efficiency or an asset that pays you, it is moving you forward. Wealth is built in the gap between what you earn and what you spend. The wider you can make that gap, the faster your ascent. Ultimately, money is a tool for the management of your life's energy. When you spend strategically, you are respecting the effort it took to earn that money and ensuring that it serves you rather than enslaves you. People who spend emotionally often find themselves in a golden cage, where they must continue to work high-stress jobs just to maintain the overhead of their expensive toys. Strategic spenders, however, buy their time back. They recognize that the most expensive thing you can buy is your own freedom, and they are willing to forego temporary luxuries to secure it. By mastering your emotions, you master your money, and by mastering your money, you master your life. Lesson 4. Multiple streams create security. In the modern economy, the single point of failure is the most dangerous configuration for any financial plan. Relying on one employer for your entire livelihood is akin to walking a tightrope without a net. If that one cable snaps, the fall is catastrophic. The wealthiest and most resilient individuals approach their finances like a diversified ecosystem. They recognize that markets are cyclical and industries are volatile, so they deliberately construct multiple independent streams of income. This diversification isn't just a strategy for growth, it is a fundamental requirement for survival in an unpredictable world. Creating multiple streams of income does not necessarily mean working 5 different jobs, rather it means developing different types of income. These typically fall into 3 categories: active, your primary career; passive, investments and rentals; and portfolio, dividends and capital gains. By layering these streams, you create a floor for your lifestyle. If your primary industry faces a downturn, your rental properties or dividend stocks can bridge the gap. This anti-fragility allows you to remain calm and opportunistic while others are panicking. It transforms your financial situation from a fragile glass structure into a flexible, robust web. The advent of the digital age has made the creation of additional streams more accessible than ever before. Intellectual property such as online courses, ebooks or software can be created once and sold thousands of times with near zero marginal cost. These digital assets work for you while you sleep, providing a global reach that was impossible for previous generations. Furthermore, the side hustle has evolved from a hobby into a legitimate incubator for future businesses. By dedicating just a few hours a week to a secondary project, you are planting seeds that may eventually grow into your primary forest, providing shade and fruit for years to come. The ultimate goal of diversification is the achievement of financial crossover, the point where your non-active income exceeds your living expenses. Once you reach this milestone, work becomes an option rather than a necessity. This level of security changes your entire psychological makeup. You no longer have to tolerate toxic work environments or unethical demands because you have the money to walk away. Multiple streams provide the leverage of choice. When you are no longer desperate for a single paycheck, you can negotiate from a position of strength and pursue opportunities that align with your passions rather than your bills. Lesson 5. Mindset drives everything. Your financial reality is an outward manifestation of your internal programming. The most sophisticated financial strategies in the world will fail if they are applied to a mindset rooted in scarcity, fear, or unworthiness. Most people are conditioned from a young age to view money as a finite resource that is hard to get and easy to lose. This scarcity mindset creates a perpetual state of anxiety that blinds you to opportunities. Conversely, an abundance mindset views the world as a place of infinite possibility where value is created, not just extracted. Your beliefs act as a filter, determining which information you notice and which actions you are willing to take. To change your outcome, you must first audit the software running in your mind. If you subconsciously believe that wealthy people are greedy or that money is the root of all evil, you will inadvertently self-sabotage any progress you make toward financial success. You cannot move towards something that you fundamentally despise or fear. Rewiring these beliefs requires a conscious effort to surround yourself with new inputs, books, mentors, and peers who demonstrate that wealth can be a tool for immense good and personal growth. You must move from a fixed mindset which believes your abilities are set in stone to a growth mindset which understands that any skill can be mastered with time and effort. The shift from fear to possibility is perhaps the most transformative internal change a person can undergo. Fear asks, "What if I lose everything?" while possibility asks, "What if this works?" Fear leads to hesitation and the avoidance of risk, which is the surest way to remain mediocre. Possibility leads to curiosity and calculated action. When you view setbacks not as failures but as data points or tuition paid to the universe, you become unstoppable. This mental resilience allows you to persist through the boring middle of wealth building where the results are not yet visible but the foundation is being laid. Your internal narrative dictates your external endurance. Ultimately, your mindset is the rudder that steers the ship of your life. While you cannot control the weather or the tides of the economy, you have absolute authority over the direction you point your vessel. By cultivating a mindset of extreme ownership, perpetual learning, and strategic optimism, you align yourself with the forces of growth. Financial freedom is not just a number in a bank account, it is a state of being. It is the confidence that you possess the skills, the assets, and the mental fortitude to thrive in any environment. When you master your mind, the money becomes an inevitable consequence of the person you have become. At the end of the day, mastering your income isn't about luck, it's about decisions. The decisions you make daily, the habits you build, and the mindset you choose to adopt. Every small action compounds over time. Every dollar you invest wisely, every skill you improve, every disciplined choice you make, it all adds up. You don't need to have everything figured out today. What matters is that you start learning, start planning, start taking control, because the longer you wait, the longer you stay stuck in a cycle that doesn't serve you. Remember this, financial freedom isn't reserved for a select few. It's available to anyone willing to think differently, act boldly, and stay consistent. You have the power to change your story, to move from survival to growth, from uncertainty to confidence. So take that first step today. Decide that your future will not be left to chance. Decide that you will master your income, take control of your wealth, and create a life on your own terms. Because the life you want is waiting for you to claim it.